Benchmade is adamant about shutting me up. Benchmade has sought for a motion for a temporary restraining order. Benchmade claims that my website advertises the defendant's products that have caused false and defamatory statements regarding Benchmade to be published. These statements appear on the websites in print and in videos that can be viewed on the website. Pages from the defendant's websites containing false and defamatory statements. These statements contain factual assertions which are false and misleading. They have and are likely to deceive prospective customers and others. They have and are likely to influence purchasing decisions. They have and tend to diminish Benchmade's reputation, and they have and are likely to injure Benchmade, and the statements therefore constitute defamatory statements. Upon information and belief, these defamatory statements were published by defendants in response to plaintiff's lawsuit against defendants and with the specific intent to harm Benchmade and coerce plaintiffs from dropping their lawsuit against the defendant. Defendants' actions described above have been deliberate, willful, malicious, and in reckless disregard of the rights of Mentor and Benchmade. No, the fact is that I want everybody in the known world to see how Benchmade behaves. It has to do with a warning to the rest of the world to not do business with you, period, because you behave in such a poor fashion. The defamatory statements made by the defendant about Benchmade on their website are false or misleading. Benchmade has been and will be damaged by defendants' activities unless the defendants are enjoined. That means they want to put a restraining order against me and make me shut up. I will never be intimidated or bullied by anybody. So, I'm going to do you a favor, Benchmade, and I'll be quiet. And I'm going to make some phone calls to the local police departments and the military and ask them what types of knife they use. And then I'm going to prove that you falsely advertised the Infidel to law enforcement and the military. Watch and enjoy, everybody. Yeah, I was wondering if there was an officer there to ask him a question. I'm doing some research on...
Okay, let me get you to someone you can talk to. Hold on.
Thank you.
Edgewater Police?
Yes, I was wondering if you're a police officer?
Yes.
And I have a question. I'm doing some research on what pocket knives police officers carry.
I don't carry one. I don't carry one, so...
Some police officers do, right? For cutting seat belts and things like that.
Sure, but you can use scissors for that too.
All right. There are some officers that do carry knives, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm not a good source for that. I mean, I actually prefer like a paramedic shears. Those things that cut through a quarter.
Okay.
You know, they're great. They're great for that. So I'm not a good source for that.
In your opinion, though, would a police officer carry a dagger blade, which is pretty much only for a stabbing purpose?
You know, I mean, but I don't use one. So, I mean, like I said, I would rather use, like, the paramedic shears that can actually cut through a quarter.
You know, I'm just curious what police officers pretty much prefer in the line of duty.
And there's different ones. Some like maybe a sawtooth side with the straighted side. Some like different type of they're like switchblade type things. Some like a fixed blade. But I don't use any. I don't use a knife. And but call around. I mean, you get a good sampling so that you can see what people do use.
Right. Well, you've been helpful. Thanks a lot for all your help.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Glendale Police Department, I can help you.
Yeah, I was wondering if I could talk to an officer to ask him about what type of knives that police officers carry.
Sir, hold on 1 second. I'm going to put you back to an officer.
Okay, thank you.
Officer Hawk speaking.
Yeah, hello. I was wondering if you could help me. I'm doing some research on what kind of pocket knives police officers carry. I know you guys carry them to cutting seat belts and just day-to-day things.
Right.
What kind of blade configurations would you have?
It just varies. Every officer is different.
Is there a reason that a police officer would carry a dagger blade that has dual edges?
Not that I know of. I don't.
Okay.
All I know is what I carry, and
what
really matters to me.
that matters to me. What do you personally carry? You carry a single-edged blade, right?
Yep.
And that's what the purpose is for basically cutting seat belts and whatever your day-to-day activities is.
Sure.
Well, that's pretty much all that I needed to find out. You've been very helpful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Lakewood Police Department front desk.
I'm doing some research on what pocket knives that police officers carry,
Okay.
and was wondering if there was an officer that could help me with that.
Absolutely. What are you looking to use it for?
No, I'm
You
just asking if police officers carry them in the first place. I'm under the
Absolutely.
assumption they do to cut seat belts and for whatever day-to-day tasks they need to use it for.
Sure.
And what kind of blade would they typically use? A single-edged blade?
Typically, but it's up to each officer's individual preference to what knife and how many they choose to carry.
And you personally,
so really not,
you carry?
I personally carry a Spyderco police modeled knife as well as a Smith & Wesson SWAT modeled knife.
And those are single-edged blades?
Mm-hmm.
And typically with all the police officers that you know, do they typically only carry a single-edged blade?
You know, I couldn't speak for all of them. That would be too difficult for me to do. I would say the majority of them do, but okay.
Well, thanks for all your help.
Sure. Was that helpful?
Yeah, very helpful. Thanks
Okay.
a lot. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
This is Officer Harrison Leary, Police Department, returning your phone call.
You use like a standard single-edge blade. You guys wouldn't necessarily use like a dagger blade or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's nothing like that.
Well, see, what my problem is that I'm doing some research because there's a particular knife company that markets a dagger blade that's a switchblade for police use. And I'm having a hard time believing that a dagger would be used by law enforcement.
Yeah, I don't think I know anyone here at the PD that has something like that.
So in particular, you'd most likely use a single-edge blade for cutting seat belts and doing your day-to-day tasks, whatever it might be.
Yeah, they've got, I mean, most of the officers carry the typical single-blade fold-out knife.
Okay.
There are a couple that have, like, a curved blade safety knife type thing. It just depends on the officer.
All right. Well, you've been very helpful. Thanks for all your help.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.
United States Army, Sergeant Sussman speaking.
Yes, I'm doing some research on pocket knives that military personnel carry, and was wondering if I could ask you a couple questions.
Oh, okay.
You're enlisted in the military, I take it, or a sergeant.
Yes.
What would a person that's in combat ever use a pocket folder knife?
Most soldiers carry Gerbers. If you look up what a Gerber is, it's an actual multi-tool.
Right.
And 90% of the Army carries it.
A tactical combat scenario involving a knife, they wouldn't use that in particular. They'd most likely use their bayonet, right?
They wouldn't use a knife.
All right. Well, my question is that there's a particular knife company out there, and they market a OTF knife that shoots out the front to the military, and they're claiming that it's a tactical combat knife. So I want to call around and see if you guys actually use it.
Nope.
And nobody that you know in the military does.
No.
All right.
No. We use a sidearm and a rifle. I mean, we use Gerbers. The only thing we use knives for is to cut stuff down.
Right. Never in a typical combat scenario.
No. Everybody sells tactical knives. Bayonets have been around forever. They used to be used, but not anymore.
But nobody in the military right now would possibly use a switchblade knife that shoots out the front that's a dagger as a tactical knife.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, that's been very helpful. So thanks for your time.
All right. Have
Okay.
a good one.
Yeah, you
All
too.
right,
Bye-bye.